so we've heard the dissertation, we've heard this preached that, you know, Jesus was asking him, do you love me more than all the other disciples? But you know what? That's not what he was saying. Because if you look up in that passage, Jesus said, bring all those fish that you caught. He's getting ready to teach him a lesson. He said, do you love me more than these fish? Do you love me more than all of these? Why are you out catching fish when I called you to be a mover and a shaker? Why are you out fishing? And why are you? He said, do you love me more than these fish here? This thing that was your path, this was the thing that pushed you and moved you. This is the thing you knew how to do. He said, when I gave you something to do, a purpose, your assignment on the earth was to fish for people. He said, do you really love me? Do you love me more than this? Yes, Lord, you know that I love you. He asked him this question again and again. Jesus is reiterating something to Peter. I want you to understand that you have a bigger assignment than these fish. Your assignment is really something larger than yourself. I know you can't imagine you being someone that would change the world, but God has chosen each and every one of you to change the world. Your purpose on this earth is much bigger than what you can even imagine. Jesus said, well, if you love me, feed my lambs. Go back to what I told you to do. Yes. Go back, feed my lambs. Fish for people. Feed my sheep. Feed my lambs. Take care of my sheep. If you love me, you will keep my commands. And we see in verse 19, he says to Peter, follow me. Because Peter had stopped following him. If we looked at that passage in St. Matthew chapter 4, verse 18, those are the very words he used to call Peter from fishing for fish. He said, follow me. And so what he's saying now, you've left following me over here with these fish. He's saying, come follow me. Because I want you to know that you are going to turn the world upside down. I have a bigger purpose and a bigger plan for you. And so in his brokenness, he had forsaken the very thing he was called to do. And sometimes in your brokenness, your discouragement, you feel like, you know, I don't have any abilities. I have no gifts. I have no talents. How could God use me? There's nothing that I can do. But God's saying, don't lose heart. Don't go back to doing what you were doing when Jesus found you. Don't lose your vision. Do not lose your passion or your fire. You don't need to be discouraged and uncertain. See, they were discouraged about something that God had already told them was going to happen. There's a bigger plan. It's bigger than the Roman oppression. I need to save some souls. Yes, amen. Thank you, Lord. It's bigger than this temporary situation you have before you, your financial situation. It's bigger than that. Yeah, I know you wanted me to save your house, but I have a different purpose for you. I need to shift the region that you're in. I need to shift the area of the people you're going to touch. I need to shift. And so Jesus talked to him, and from that point on, we see that Peter was launched back into the ministry of being a mover and a shaker. And we can see all through the books of Acts and how Peter affected the nation. Yes. How Peter did what he was called to do. And God is calling you to do something phenomenal. Amen. Something outstanding for his kingdom. He doesn't want you sitting on the banks of idleness. You've been called to something huge, something beyond your power and your imagination. Let the Lord use you. Move from this old empty place. Shake something up. God is calling you. There's something in you, and you feel that nugging, that nudging in your spirit that you can do something great. There's something you were meant to do. You can just sense it sometimes. Sometimes you have those little glimpses that I was called to do something better than what I'm doing right now. now. I